Premier, on another matter, you've conclusively on the record ruled out a fall election this year. I'm wondering, will you today conclusively on the record rule out a winter or spring election next year, sir?
You know, thanks for that. We aren't having an election this year, so we're going to continue making sure that we focus on what the people of Ontario need, and that's good paying jobs, making sure we have good health care, good education, good infrastructure, and that's what we're going to continue doing.
Hey, good morning, Premier. Colin DeMello from Global News. Just on that vein, so you've given your cabinet ministers and MPPs a deadline by sometime in December to let you know whether or not they want to run again. Why would you give them that deadline if you're not planning on holding an early election?
Well, you always have to be prepared. That's what it comes down to. It's, no matter which way you look at it, we aren't too far from any election, no matter if it's next year, the following year. And we have to know where we're moving and going and making sure we have good candidates. I'm blessed to have one of the best caucus in cabinets that I've ever seen in politics. Let's keep in mind, last election, 2022, there was 18 MPPs that didn't run, and we ended up with 26 new MPPs, and they're incredible people. I'm fortunate to have them on our team, and a couple of them are with me today. I'm just blessed to have the talent that I have around the table.
Typically, though, that process of opening up nominations, checking in with your cabinet and caucus, that process only happens 6 to 8 months before an election. And the next election is scheduled for June of 2026. So, you know, to Richard Southern's question, so you've eliminated 2024. Yep. Will there be a provincial election in 2025?
I'll make you a deal. You will be the first person I call, and Richard will be the second person I call when we decide when and how we're going to call the election.
Can you give me your thought process, though,
on what you're,
but can you give me your thought process, though, on what you're thinking about? Like, is that on the table, and if so, what would be the reason for it being on the table?
Well, again, I appreciate the question, but we're going to focus on what people want right now, and that's a good paying job, making sure that we do the infrastructure right across the province that people need by building the hospitals and the schools. And the good news is, folks, in 6 years, we're the only government in history. We've never raised your taxes, ever. And we never will raise your taxes. We believe in getting more revenue through growth. We've seen over $64 billion of growth over the last 6 years, and we're going to keep reinvesting it into the people and into jobs and opportunities in the economy. That's what we're going to continue doing, being the leader in the world when it comes to energy, nuclear energy, and the largest subway project in North America, and one of the largest infrastructure projects in North America as well. So we have lots of room for improvement. I always say continuous improvement, but my goodness, the people of Ontario have done a great job. All you have to do is talk to people around the world and ask them how it's going. We live in the greatest jurisdiction anywhere in the entire world, right here in Ontario.
Hi, Premier. Lorenda Redikoff with CBC News. We heard the Transportation Minister mention Highway 413. We know there is that memorandum of understanding with the feds, but we keep hearing about different endangered species. The most recent one is this little fish that lives around that proposed route. Some environmental groups involved feel that this could put the brakes on the project. What is happening with that? We know that memorandum of understanding does not negate the Species at Risk Act. If I could hear from you and perhaps the minister as well.
Well, before I pass to the minister, we're going to work collaboratively with the federal government. We always work collaboratively with the Minister of Environment when it comes to species at risk. Something I don't remember seeing rivers or creeks that fish are floating in, grasshoppers and everything else you can think of. And last time I checked, the grasshopper, when I talked to him, he can jump from one side of the highway to the other side of the highway and get out of the way. But we live in 1,070,000 square kilometers. I want to get their philosophy at, species at risk. How do they measure it? Just imagine 1,070,000 square kilometers, and we're taking a little strip for transportation. Someone needs to explain it to me. But anyways, don't even get me going on these species at risk here.
As the Premier said, we have a collaborative working relationship on the federal working group that has been put together. But Ontario has the highest standards for the environmental assessment. This route has been studied for 15 years, and people want us to build the 413. We received the largest mandate in this province on the back of this highway. Right here, I've got two colleagues joining me today, Minister Graham McGregor, Minister Charmaine Williams, who were elected on this promise to build the 413. Gridlock is at an all-time high. We committed to the people of this province that we're going to build it. It's one of the most popular projects in the region and in the province, and from an economic perspective, it will bring significant opportunity not only to Peel, York, but this entire region. So we'll continue to work, through the process, but we're getting shovels in the ground next year, and we're going to build this Highway 413 for generations to come.